Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. And yeah, it's been a minute, hasn't it? I don't know, maybe, who knows? For some reason, the schedule's just a bit all over the place. I've got loads of videos to do, just not a lot of time to do it. So we're talking about these today. These are the Maxx, or the new Maxx model MWS hop units. Now, they reached out to me. They asked if they could send me some, to which of course I obliged. And they sent two versions. So the only thing I could tell from the packaging difference wise is it comes with an adjuster, and the one that comes with an adjuster has a different hop arm. So instead of having two linkages on the hop arm, it's just got one. So it basically takes out the gap between the two hop arms. Now, before I could even get round to this, he said Maxx Model sent me a message, or the guy that runs Maxx Model sent me a message. And Andy basically said that, we've changed some things. So before you do anything, just give us a moment and we'll ship you out the revised item. And I think the only thing that they've done is they've machined this to the exact specs of the outer barrel on an MWS. Now, if many of you have took apart MWSs before, you know that in front of the hop unit on an MWS, you have a little O-ring that sits there. And basically, this sort of early version, shall we say, they'd removed that tolerance and just made it fit like perfectly. So for the second one that they've done, so these were sent to me. He said, don't bother doing anything with those. I'll send you a new box out. And they also were kind enough to send me a hop unit for the Evo build. So the version 2, or it's just an updated, slightly updated version, and you might be able to see a slight difference in colour. This one's a little bit brighter to this one. So that's all they've done. They've just moved that tolerance forward so you can still put the O-ring on. And I think basically what that is, it just gives the hop unit a little bit, just the tiniest bit of wiggle room. So that's all they've done. So they sent me out the new version, which I've got here. I haven't fitted anything yet. I've been sitting on this for a while, to be honest. It's more my problem than theirs. But I thought today, I've got some time, let's take a look. So we can pull everything out of the packaging. Now, the newer version that they sent me, which is you could almost call these production samples, where I say production samples, like pre-production samples, and then this one is the production version. So I know I'm waffling a bit at the start here, guys, and I do apologise. I just want to make sure all the information is clear. So in the packaging, as with other Maxx model products, we get a couple of different nub styles, so that you get a flat nub, you get a concave one, and you get one that has like a normal hot rubber nub. So we've got those in the packaging. What else do we have in here, actually? So in this one, we've got a couple of shims, an O-ring, and then a little clamp of some kind. So we'll be able to see more on that in a moment. So let's push this out. I do like the Maxx model products packaging. It's very simple to the point, but it's also nicely presented. So what's interesting about that is it actually has a pre-tension spring. So you'll see the spring just in the middle there. So that constantly keeps tension. So I imagine that's to take backlash out. And it's a very unique design. As many of you may know, I've been designing and working on an MWS hop unit for some time, but I keep revising it and changing it. And honestly, I think if Maxx Model have pulled it out of the bag with this, and this works really well, I don't think, if the performance is there out this unit, because it's very nicely presented, if the performance is there and they're easy to get your hands on them, I honestly don't see the point in continuing with that project. Now, if for some very unlikely reason that this hop unit doesn't do what it needs to do, then of course that will just progress. But this is going to be an interesting one. So they've done it a little bit differently. Oh, so we've got some little pieces that have fell out here. So what this will be is you have a clamp that goes onto your barrel, like so. And then this looks like a collar. And I bet you Yeah, so it's like a collar that it's like tapered. These parts are a little bit finicky to sort of show off as I keep dropping them. Do they sit in here okay? So maybe that has the notch. Yeah, I think the notch is for the hop unit, not for the clamp itself. So that will be what clamps onto your barrel, push your barrel and your hop rubber in. Then you've got this sort of locking ring. And basically that's tapered inside there. If I can bloody flip it round, these parts are small and they're light, so they want to jump about everywhere. So then you have this little retaining ring and it's like tapered. So what that means is you put your barrel in, and what that's going to do is it's going to clamp your barrel into the hop unit, but then it's also going to secure it in a way where it applies torque to the barrel to keep this all solid, and I really do like that. This is probably one of the first, when he first showed me images. Now, I don't just accept, you know, things from everybody. I do get some wacky things that people want to send me. And when I saw this, I was like, that is actually thinking outside the box, and someone's done something different rather than just the cookie cutter, this is what it is. And to be honest with you, my hop unit is very much designed in a two-part hop unit, and to a point. Obviously, I haven't worked on it for a while. And like I said, you can get this, or you will be able to get this as a normal one. So you'll just fit your barrel and everything up, and you'll just slot it into your MWS or whatever replica it is, and it will work off your standard hop adjuster. But this one comes with a fancy hop adjuster as well. So here, what I do really like is it comes with a screw as well. I was actually thinking, oh, bloody hell, if this don't come with a screw and this one don't fit. So it's got the same little buffered O-ring system as the standard one. You've got O-rings on the outside of this piece here, probably to secure the charging handle a little better. But then you have a dial. And what I love about this, so there's a double-edged sword here, so bear with me. What I really like about this is that it takes all the guesswork out. So no matter how you adjust these hops, you never really know where the wheel is. You might set it so your gun's hopping perfectly, but then you come back to it months, years later or whatever, you have no idea where that hop's set. Now with this, and it does ratchet, so I'm hoping, I'll try and get the microphone closer so you can hear it. You can hear that. I'm just going to put it to the microphone. Hopefully you can... very nice clicks, but also it's numbered. So it looks like you've got 2 segments between numbers. So there's 10 numbers. So that would mean 20 degrees of adjustment, 20 segments of adjustment. And, you know, you set it, you put this in your gun. I know I'm waffling here, sorry guys. Set it to your gun, you go to a 4, your hop's good. You've got nice flat trajectory with whatever BBs you're using. And let's say for whatever reason, you come to your gun, maybe it's the next game day or whatever, and you just check it ready for your game day. And this has shifted, as long as you remember where it is, and this has shifted, let's say you've knocked it in transport or something, and you come back to it and it's on, you know, 2.5. You know, hang on a minute, that was definitely set to 4 before, so you could actually set it back to where it was. Now, I know I'm throwing weird scenarios at you guys here, but I do like that it signifies a place. What I don't like about this is literally the fact that I have to use a tool. Now, what will be nice is if you can put you can get your fingernail in there to turn it, but it's not really the way you want. Now, what I will say, I would like more attention on this ratchet system, because it does have the clicks, but it's not incredibly tight. I'm not sure if we can pre-tension that. That sort of fixture there looks all dorked up. I'm not sure what that is. If it's like a normal, like Phillips. No, there's no tool that's going to go in there. I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe they fit them and then they drill them, so you know people can't mess about with them. So yeah, that would go into your gun. If you're using this version of the hop unit, that would then slide into there, and then you've got one hop arm connecting your hop to your adjuster. There's no linkage in between like normal hops. So they have really thought about this. Coming from someone that probably doesn't design products to their same degree, this is very, very nice indeed. The arm does have an angle on the back there. However, we can get it fitted, can't we? So what they did include was this little thing, and I imagine what this is for is to demonstrate this. So you might have, are we going to be able to do this? So that would go in there like so. This is basically just what am I trying to say, boys and girls? It's like a demonstrator type thing. So I can put this in. Tighten this up, which demonstrates that being in your receiver. So I don't think this is a product that they're going to be doing with the hop unit, but it did come in the packaging, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. So then we can slide this in. This is replicating how you would install it in your receiver. Screw that in. So the adjuster screws into your receiver. So this screws into the front here, and then your barrel sits in your outer barrel like that. And that's how it goes together. And we'll see what this arm does when I give it a turn. Hopefully we see the arm move. So it's on 0. I can't go backwards now the hop is fitted. I can only go forwards. So here we go. So it did get stuck there. It binds up about 4, 5, 6, but it will go all the way around. And when you go to 10, 10 and a half, and then it latches back down. So you can go all the way around, but you can't go the other way. So yeah, I've got the Ghetto Blaster here because literally when I was thinking what gun do I fit this into, it was in front of me, and I was like, wow, perfect. I like the Ghetto Blaster. I like how easy it is to work on, and it'll be a perfect tester to see if this goes in the clones as well. If we try and fit this in here and it doesn't fit, then we know it won't fit the clones. So we want a Torx. Was it T15 or was it a T20? T20. Oh, there we go. So you're getting pretty much everything you need in the box as far as I'm aware, apart from, of course, your barrel and your hot rubber. Crack this off here. You will have to use Maxx model like the nub carriers, but because they do so many of them, you've got plenty to choose from, and you get a bunch of them in the box. Did I just slip off that? I think I did. Oh, bloody hell. I can't turn this off here. It's getting a bit stuck. No. So I'm going to go through. Just need to get a bit of torque on this screw. Obviously, when I've done this back up, I've done it a bit too tight. I always do this, don't I, boys? There we go. I do actually have a proper torque ratchet wrench for this stuff, but I hardly ever use it. Right. So you've got your MWS, you've split your lower. Apologies to everyone that's just saying, you know, get to it, but I like to be thorough. So you've got your MWS, you've got your rail system or whatever. with the Ghetto Blaster, it's quite easy to take apart. And you'll have a little screw in there. So you take your small screwdriver, we loosen this off. You watch this be like buggered up now. I think there's a bunch of glue in there. Oh no, it is turning. And you always have to be careful. Let's say you're fitting, I mean, you can do your hot parts on an MWS without messing with the adjuster at all. But a good example is someone sent a MWS into me recently, and they were having troubles with their adjuster. Like that one's just gone ping over there. So basically having troubles with the adjuster where the hop was self-adjusting itself. If you ever take these out, you've got to be careful. And that's a perfect demonstration as to why, because that plunger just disappears across the room. I'm going to pop that screw out, because I don't really want to reuse it. And we're going to take the new adjuster. If you're using the other version of this hop unit, you won't have to do this step. You'll see that slots nicely into the double eagle Noveski Ghetto Blaster. There's been a lot of questions about this. If you're listening and you were the person that asked about the stock, yes, you can change these stocks. I'm not sure what the thread specs are on the receiver, but you can change them. It's just a normal buffer tube. I think like a normal D Noveski N4 one would fit. So there's your adjuster fitted in, like so. I'm going to take our original parts. I'm going to pull out the barrel and hop. And you'll see that's the O-ring that I was talking about earlier. We've got an O-ring that goes round the hop unit itself. Slide those off here. They are the same size on the double eagles, these O-rings, but on the Marui MWSs they are different size O-rings, so make sure you keep them separate. Now here is where I would go and put a nice stainless barrel in with a nice like Flamingo 60 hot rubber. But for the interest of time, we're just going to slot this in. We have all our components. You would take this. Now I haven't read any of the instructions, I'm just guessing. That would be your barrel clamp part like that, and you put it with the nub, I presume the nub at the back. And it has just fell off there. The fitment on, you know, Marui spec barrels, aftermarket barrels, clone barrels like this may differ. So we'll slot this in and you'll be able to see it. Now this hot rubber is a little bit weird because it's got that weird patch on it. I think a Flamingo 60 is going to work lovely in this. So you push your barrel in. That clamp there stops you pushing your barrel in too far. And then you simply get your little collar. Let that slot all the way down and then get your, your clamp parts. I'm not sure what these parts are called, so forgive me. And with all that in, it says here, lock. You just twist that down finger tight and that barrel is locked. There's no movement in that. With a lot of these hops, because they're two parts held together by an O-ring, they can move about quite a bit. Now I'm not sure what the washers are for. So what we should do, we should check the instructions, shouldn't we? Let's see what these parts are. So that weird clamp tool says number 11. What is that? Hop-up chamber booking spacer. Only to be used with maple leaf GB bookings. Okay, so if you're using maple leaf gas blowback hot rubbers, use that little spacer and it basically sits in front of the hot rubber like that. So it's very nice of them to include it. So if you're using, and it's funny they've put the Quantum one in here. They should put the Flamingo in here as well. I dare say a lot more people got the Flamingo than the Quantums, but we've got Tokyo Marui, we've got the Quantum one, and we've got the Maple Leaf. And the Maple Leaf is the only one that you use it on. I was right about the clamps. The little O-ring that comes with it is indeed a spacer for the front. So let's try and get that out without dropping all the rest of the parts everywhere. And they disappear. Oh, it's just a washer. It's on the side, I can see it. So we'll get that little O-ring out. We'll put that part back in. I never, ever use Maple Leaf rubbers in any of my MWS builds. Not for any particular reason. I just favour the Sniper Mechanics one. So this O-ring will go over here. Now this O-ring is a different size, so if you're fitting this into your clone rifles like the Ghetto Blaster and you're having an issue, you could just switch this O-ring out with this one, which is slightly bigger, and that just might be a tolerance thing between Tokyo Marui and the Double Eagle ones. So that's all fitted. The washers, so you can use a 2mm hex or a flathead to adjust it. Bolt carrier damper default setting is 2 shims. Okay. Bolt carrier dampening. Okay, that's just the thing that for the adjuster. I'm not going to mess with that in this video. So fitting the rubber, I think we just turn that screw. Yeah, so let's get a little flathead because these screws are tiny. And I am going to make sure to hold this. I think these are pins with a thread on. Yep. So we'll pull that little pin out, which will release. It's a very simple spring where the long part of the spring slots into the arm, and the short piece, there's actually a hole for it, and we're going to demonstrate that in just a moment. So let's get one of the hop parts. I'm going to just pick for demonstration purposes the concave one. I'm pretty sure, aren't we meant to put like one of the rubbers in the back of there? Could have sworn we are. So that's the only part of it I'm not a fan of, because I don't want uncertainty in my hop adjuster. Like I'd feel much better if it was like just a better fitting, or had like a plastic buffer between the two. So with this arm, you're removing the 2 arm system from the hop, but you're still keeping this piece here. So I've got the solid piece of orange which goes in there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is for this carrier, so I am doing it correctly. So we place that in there. We put the concave nub in there. Choose whichever one you want, it doesn't really matter. We'll take the spring, and I think what this is going to be is pop the tiny stick out piece of the spring in the hole, and that should hold it. And then we should be able to slide this on top if this didn't spin. This is probably the only part that you're going to have a slight issue aligning. The rest of it's been okay till now, but getting that spring slotted back, there we go, slide back into the arm. It's just a matter of alignment. You pop that pin back in. Screw that back into place, and now we have our hop, and it is spring activated to take any slack out of it. Not that we're going to need that, but should be able to see this now. This is a standard rubber, not like a fancy rubber, so it's not going to put out like a big contact patch like a Flamingo. And there we have it installed. So then what you would do, you would take this, you'd slot it back into your gun. Now that O-ring, the little O-ring that comes with the hop, I think is going to be fine because there's plenty of buffer space there. We take our upper receiver. We're going to slot it in. And what we're going to do is just make sure that the arm, you see there, you can't go on the top, it needs to go underneath. So you just press that down as you push it in, so it sits under the adjuster, and then you can screw this back on. So I'm not sure when this, if it's released already, because I have been pretty lax with it, and you can see there the O-rings with the Noveski handle, they don't really grab it, but I suppose it's good to have it rather than and not need it than to need it and not have it. Just slot the bolt back in. So you see there, that buffer. It was like, yeah, so it slightly binds up the handle. So what I would do with that, Jaeger 1 oil, and I would just apply it over those O-rings, because the last thing you want to do is either damage the O-rings or your charging handle gets stuck from side and over. You see it's fixed that. It was just starting to fold over the O-ring there. Pop this back into place. This video is far longer than it needed to be, but you know my style. Feel free to click about in the video. However, if you do want to watch the whole video, I appreciate it because it boosts the algorithm and it helps more people find the channel and the videos. We'll see, make sure this is aligned, which it is. We'll quickly just pop these back in, and then we'll just put a few rounds through it to test it. These bloody screws. One of the most asked questions on the Noveski N4s is, can I change the rail? And yeah, but I don't see why you would want to, because the rail matches the receiver. What I would like to see from Double Eagle, now everybody knows that they've done the Noveski N4, they've done the Noveski Ghetto Blaster, both really good products. They've also got a sister company called Salvo Precision, which are going to be doing a lot of MCX models. So, you know, the MCX, everyone knows I have Toxicants, but the MCX as an MWS gas blowback system is going to become far cheaper for the masses, which is nice. Thank you to Jerry. Jerry is actually in the Jaeger Precision Discord, among many others. And he's always about. Obviously, it's Chinese New Year at the moment, but he's always in there chatting with us all. And what I would like to see from Double Eagle is, you know, do some standard M4 models so people can like design up themselves. So I think this is the Double Eagle mag. So we'll put a couple of rounds in it. I'm not thinking at all that this isn't going to work, but one thing I will say about these Double Eagle Stanag mags, they don't like to retain the BBs all that much with the easy loader. I have managed to tap the feed lips as well, like they're just, see how it's just kicking the BBs out? Not a fan of this mag, and these mags are actually pretty expensive. So, does it feed? It does feed, and there's no blockages. We'll do a quick burst. And yeah, seems to work absolutely fine. There's no signs of scratching or wear or anything like that. So this is going to be a great addition for all you MWS users. Unless your MWS, maybe you've got something aftermarket that doesn't take a normal MWS hop unit. I'm guessing the Toxicant XM5 is going to be the exception. So it's a great new product from them. I really like the presentation. I really like the features. And honestly, I've been a massive advocate of using the standard Marui housing with a tight nub and flamingo for a long time now. But honestly, I think I'm going to have to pick a few more of these up and play about my replicas. And of course, I'll do a long-term review on this thing, so you guys know that is going to take time. I know everybody wants the data and the performance and this, that, and the other straight off the bat, but I'm just showing you what it is, where it's from, how to fit it. Is it cool? Does it have some nice features? Not sure on the price just yet, so I can't really speak on affordability. But that is the Maxx model hop unit for the Tokyo Marui MWS and clones, and anything else that's MWS based, I suppose. Thanks very much for watching. Sorry it's been a long video. I hope you watched all the way through. I would appreciate it if you did. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the links in the description below. Join the Jaeger Precision Discord. There's tons of us in there, and we just talk airsoft all day, every day. You can join the voice chats. We're in there most nights. And as always, from me and a very messy bench, we'll see you in the next one.